Howdy folks, and welcome to the Hillbilly Kitchen. Today we're making Rocky Road Fudge. Now this is a really simple recipe. This is another 2-minute fudge. And what makes it a 2-minute fudge and what makes it so easy and so simple is sweetened condensed milk. I have a 14-ounce can. Now you can also get smaller cans of this, so it's really easy to cut this in half if you want to make a smaller batch. But today I'm using the bigger can, the 14-ounce can. I have a bag of chocolate chips, which is about 2 cups. I'm using semi-sweet. I've got 1.5 cups of peanuts. Now you can use any nuts in this. You could use cashews, almonds, walnuts, pecans, just whatever you like. But Rocky Road traditionally has peanuts and marshmallows. And I've got a full bag of mini marshmallows. I'm not going to use quite all of those. I'm going to use about 3 cups. And you can adjust the marshmallows and the nuts to suit your taste. And I'm also going to put a teaspoon of vanilla in it, and I'm going to put about 2 tablespoons of butter in mine. You don't have to have the vanilla or the butter. If you don't have it, you can make it without both of those 2 ingredients, but it does make it better. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start by putting my condensed milk in a bowl, and I'm using a microwave safe bowl. I'm going to do this in the microwave. It only takes about 1 minute in my microwave. And if 1 minute doesn't do it, you just want to heat it about another 15 or 20 seconds at a time. Now, if you don't like to use the microwave, you can use your stove on low, or you can use a double boiler on your stove. If you do it on the stove, you want to heat it just until the chocolate is melted and no more. And stir it constantly if you don't have a double boiler, because it will scorch. Now I'm just going to put about 2 tablespoons of butter in here. You can omit this. You don't have to have the butter in it at all. And you can put up to about 1/2 cup in it if you want to. Just kind of play with the recipe, adjust it to suit your taste. About 2 tablespoons I think is about plenty, and it gives it a more glossy sheen than if you don't put the butter in it. And of course, butter makes everything better. All right, now I'm just going to stir this up a tiny bit. And I'm going to stick it in my microwave for, like I said, 1 minute. Now, while our chocolate's melting in the microwave, I'm going to take my butter, and cold butter does work best for this. And I am going to kind of rub it over this aluminum foil, because I'm going to line my pan with this so that when my fudge is set, I can lift it out of the pan and cut it, and it won't stick to the aluminum foil. You don't necessarily have to do this either. It just makes it easier once it's set. Okay, after 1 minute, you can see there's some bubbles in this, but once you start to stir it, even in just a minute, that chocolate is pretty well melted. It's mixing up together, and that's all you want. You don't want to overheat this, because if you get that chocolate too hot, it's going to lump up, and nobody wants lumpy chocolate. And as I stir this, you can kind of see that butter starting to give it a sheen. The chocolate actually melts much easier than the butter does. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and add my nuts. You can adjust the nuts to suit your taste. And like I said, any nut will work. You can use anywhere from 1 cup to 2 cups, even more if you want more. And I'm using a salted cocktail peanut, so I kind of have that sweet salty taste. Cashews would be really good in this too, but it's just kind of what you want. I mean, you're making it for you, so you put whatever kind of nut you want in it. Just because Rocky Road normally has peanuts, don't mean yours has to. And I'm going to add a teaspoon of vanilla. Like I said, you don't have to have it, but it does make it better. And I want about 3 cups of marshmallows. Now you can do the marshmallows anywhere from 2 cups all the way up to the whole bag. It just kind of depends, like I said, what you want. But I found that's about the consistency that I like. And then we're just going to stir this up again. And the rest of our butter hopefully will melt in there. Nobody will get a big bite of butter. And if your microwave didn't melt the chocolate all in a minute, just do it, 15-20 seconds at a time after that first minute, because you don't want to overheat it. And this is another one of those recipes that's really good for the kids because it doesn't get hot enough to burn them, and you're not dealing with a hot pan on the stove or a hot stove eye or anything like that. If you're making it with the kids, you might want to give it a stir before you spread it out in the pan, just to get all the chocolate up out of the bottom of your bowl and make sure the marshmallows and the peanuts are evenly distributed. Now we're just gonna put this in our pan that we had put the foil and the butter in, the buttered foil, and we're gonna kind of spread it out a little bit. Now this recipe will only work with the sweetened condensed milk, so make sure it's not just evaporated, it's sweetened condensed. And it works, you don't have to cook it because the milk is already cooked. And so buying that sweetened condensed milk saves you all that time cooking. And once you put it in your pan, you just want to spread it out a little bit. And you don't have to get it real smooth or be real exact, because obviously it's going to be kind of lumpy. It's Rocky Road. And now you want to put it in the refrigerator for at least 2 hours, maybe overnight. And once it's set up in about 2 hours, you can just lift the foil out of the pan and it'll look like this. And at that point, it's ready to cut and serve. This one is great for gift giving. I do store it in the refrigerator in an airtight container after I cut it, but it would be good out of the refrigerator for a few days. I probably wouldn't try to mail this one. I mean, it might be all right, but then again, it might not. And this is my pizza cutter. I bought this from one of those school fundraisers years ago, but it makes cutting candy so easy. And I'm not sure where else you can get these, but if you've got a kid or a grandkid doing a school fundraiser and they've got them, grab you one. And you can see what it looks like once it's cut. It's perfect Rocky Road Fudge. It sets up really, really nice, and it literally only takes about 2 minutes a minute in the microwave and a minute or so to stir it, and you put it in the pan. You can even put the butter on the foil while you're microwaving it, which is amazing for fudge. The 2-minute fudges are kind of a new thing for me, and I don't know how many of y'all have been doing them for years, but I'm one of those people that the whole time my kids were growing up, I stirred the fudge pot. And this is not quite like cooked fudge. I mean, that fudge that you stand there and stir for 20 minutes. This is a slightly different texture, but it is very good. And it's at least as good as any fudge that you would get in any gift shop anywhere that you would pay $10 to $20 a pound for. So if you're looking for something to give folks this holiday, maybe you don't know what to get them or you're on a budget, make some homemade candy. It makes a great gift, especially for those people who have everything. I mean, who wouldn't want a box of Rocky Road Fudge? Before we go, I want to leave you with Romans 15:13. Now the God of hope fill you with the joy and the peace in believing, that you may abound in hope through the power of the Holy Ghost. Because we have Jesus and He gave us the Holy Ghost, we have hope. And as long as we have hope, we can get through the day and we can look forward to tomorrow, because with hope, each day brings a new beginning, a new chance, and new possibilities. So I truly pray that you all have hope through this Christmas season and every day for the rest of your lives. If you have not already, please don't forget to click like and subscribe before you leave. And we truly appreciate you all joining us in the Hillbilly Kitchen. Until next time, don't forget to put God first.